You are listening to Forest Fairy Oracle with Mary Moses.
Once upon a time, we had 4 arms and 4 legs. We had a head with 2 faces. And fearing the power of these humans who were androgynous, neither male nor female, Zeus split them into 2 separate parts, condemning them to spend their lives in search of their true other halves. The word androgynous means man-woman in Greek. It means neither male nor female, really both. And it's connected to the Statue of Liberty because the Statue of Liberty looks like the original human with male and female features. The gender of humans are determined by their origin. So men are sun children, women are earth children. The androgynous ones, on the other hand, were called moonchild. And I don't know if you guys know this, but on the Neverending Story, when the oracle said, "Call out my name," Bastion screamed out, "Moonchild," which represents not being separated from male or female, being the balance, being the number 4. So you have the number 4 with the body language of the cross. This is balancing the 4 elements, the 2 genders, and a myriad of other numerical and even scientific explanations of protons, neutrons, electrons, and cellular growth, or even a cellular miscarriage of our divine inheritance and our balance. So the moonchild is only born when the sun and the earth are combined. It is about a divine union. There was a time when humans were bold and powerful beings who dared to threaten the gods. They threatened to destroy them and reign in their place, therefore establishing themselves as the new gods. So the gods had to respond, and they pondered how to deal with the threat posed by humanity, as well as what needed to be done to restore harmony and balance. And so this was about ego. This was about pride. This was about wanting to be in control. This was about ignorantly taking things out of balance, not understanding how things work. So they considered fully wrecking humanity completely, fighting them in a battle, killing them with lightning, and as they had done with the Titans. So you might like to know that the Titans were sent to a prison called Tartarus. It is a labyrinth where they were made to suffer and be humiliated in order to break down the ego and the pride energy. But Zeus created a new plan. So they divided human beings in half to punish them for their selfishness and vanity. So the suffering that humans experienced from being cut in half, instead of being the number 4, they became the number 2, really brought us into the world of 1 and 2. You are the 1 in duality, which equates to 12 hours, 12 months, 12 zodiac signs. It goes on to read that Apollo, the god of music, truth and prophecy, healing and light, couldn't take seeing human beings like this, so he patched them up, reconstructed their physical shapes, and only left the navel as a memory of their former selves. But human beings always continue to yearn for their soul counterparts, and this is what we are seeing in Jewel's piece. And it's the reason why the 2 individuals who are holding things in their hands have their legs spread apart, which opens a reality or a doorway. It represents that we were torn. Your piece is speaking of the elm and the tree people. So the Entwives and the trees seem to be very closely related to human beings. When you really look back into it, where Jesus said, "You know a person by the fruit of their tree," the tree of life, and Kabbalah, the tree Shamans say that our soul looks exactly like the essence or soul of a tree. And at the bottom of your piece, you have 4 trees. And this represents that we used to be the number 4, but we were cut into the number 2, which kind of makes sense in a lot of mythologies where Osiris's body was cut 14 times. You are the one cut in fourths on the cross, the number 4, the 4 elements. But you have a big, large hand up that doesn't speak of 4. It speaks of 5. And this is where Jesus holding a candle comes in, because the 5th element is spirit and ether. And this spirit, which is like the Holy Spirit, enters into this body that's been cut and torn and bitten like an apple, and brings us into not only back together again, but more powerful than we were, but balanced in such a way that we do not threaten the gods. We do not want power. We don't want pride. We don't want ego. We don't want to control things. We have learned in this lower world of separation that everything is in divine order and that the elements must be balanced. One cannot be stronger than the other. Fire cannot be stronger than water. Air cannot be stronger than earth. So there was originally only 4 elements, and then they brought in a 5th element, which helped to balance it. This is where we get the symbol of the star. So you go from the Christmas tree, which is the tree of life, which is the cross, the number 4, which is the tetrahedron shape, which is the number 4, to the star, which is the number 5. Your higher self is a program writer. When I see that rainbow above your head, the emanations of who you are from a lower realm to a higher realm, they are taking almost like the cosmos, like a spinning disc, and writing truths and writing the future and doing things, almost like a master architect. But I don't get architect like Thoth with your energy. What I get is music, sound, frequency, and storytelling, the arts, theater, things like that. Ultimately, the symbolisms within your piece bring us to that our higher self is an animal, as we see at the 2 o'clock position, where the woman has allowed her physical body to be motionless, while her higher self is putting halo technology on someone's head, helping them to speak to the invisible Buddhas, and giving them the feather of truth. And really what the higher ones are saying is, it's not by your power that you have power at all. The invisible ones have a code and the eyes who can see things that we can't. And they're the ones who take over our body and our hands and our mouths to speak the voice of God to ourselves and to humanity. So the Holy Spirit is a flame like a halo, which resides above our head, speaking to us. And all we have to do is let go of pride and ego, self-importance, thinking we know it all, and let ourselves be still so that our higher self can work. And so what they're saying is our physical life is like someone in the center of a puddle. The more waves we make with our emotions that are out of balance, the less power we have. So what they want is for us to be joyful, balanced, happy, creative, loving, clean, and thoughtful of our holy temple and all of that. And when we collect power through these happy, joyful energies, it gives your higher self power. So all they really want us to do is be creative. All they really want us to do is to create beautiful things, because the emanations of the word beauty literally gives your higher self the power to do great and mighty things. And so that's the job of the human here. And so your story goes back to Zeus And so we're also going to do a part 2 where we're going to talk about your higher self being a 7-rayed master who literally came forward as a name for you and a body language that mirrors your body language. The 7-rayed masters are immortal beings, and they have different names. In Zoroastrianism, in Hinduism, Western and Eastern religions have different names for the group of 7. And the 7-rayed masters are connected to the rainbow. So Jesus is Yahshua. Yah means moon. Shua means the ray of the sun. So you got to wonder if Moonchild is connected to Jesus there. So you are connected to Serapis Bey. This is why your piece has S-E-R. And it's connected to Sirius B, the dog star. And so your star system, your Greek mythology energies, even the Jesus story or the Horus story, which is the same story, takes us to elements that tells us of the origins of matter and time itself. Serapis Bey is the Kohan of the 4th ray. That's why we see 4 rings above your head instead of 7 as a rainbow. And he is of the sun. The 4th ray is the ascension flame, the white light of the mother in the base of the spine chakra. Out of this white light comes architecture, the principles of mathematics, the foundation of the building of the matter, of the temple of the pyramid of self. So when we're talking about matter, we're looking at the tree energy in your piece. This is the origin of matter, earth. In the presence of Serapis, one knows an entirely different perception of what we call Christ. It is the real person of us all. Known as the great disciplinarian, Serapis came from Venus, with the Ancient of Days to rekindle the sacred fire. And this is why Jesus is holding the sacred fire in his hand. So it is to rekindle this sacred fire within the hearts of a wayward mankind. And his great enthusiasm is to reclaim the sons of man as kings and priests unto God. But we had to go through Tartarus. We had to go through this lower world where it kind of goes in line with Zeus in order to get rid of ignorance, really. So this ignorant, it's really the story of Thor being cast out of the heavens because of his pride, and going and learning humility, being stricken from his power. So once we realize that balance is the only way, a divine order, a synchronistic and natural flow to things is the only way, and that we shouldn't overstep our boundaries, then this rekindling will occur. And then it says, we will be reclaimed as kings and priests unto God, swelled and mounted into a flame of iron, and with determination and discipline. So he assists his students with self-disciplines that are necessary for the ascension. The discipline of the 4 lower bodies. This takes us to the number 4. Think of always the cross is about the number 4. In order that the Christ may appear and use them as vehicles for service and attainment in the world of form. So when we see that cat above that woman's head, this is a spirit guide that has taken the shape of a cat, reflecting the ability to be an oracle, the ability to speak the voice of the ascended masters, and the disciplining of past momentums of negative spirals and of human creation that would stand in the way of ascension flame to help us to balance within our hearts to evolve upon the planet through the acceleration of the threefold flame. And the threefold flame is called the Triketra. And the Triketra is male, female, and spirit. So earth, moon, and sun. So the words twin flame, threefold flame, the 4th flame, the 5th flame of the stars, these are the things that you are actually accelerating through. What they are actually writing a code onto your halo technology and awakening you. And they really want to tell you to release and surrender your physical body and allow yourself to be excited with creativity and to use that creativity to be the voice of God. So whether it is music or whether it is writing, whatever you get inspired with, you will be impregnated with information. And if you don't allow this information and this creativity to birth, then it's a sad thing, because this is all about you stepping into a larger mastery that is within you. So they see something greater inside you. I know you do a lot of great things, but they see something greater inside you, and they just want you to know that, there's more things that you could do with your talents and your gifts to bring about this flame to the world and really bring the world into their fifth flame. And set the world on fire with the blue flame. And it's not a flame that hurts. It's a flame that gives us immortality and gives us our divine inheritance, so that we can walk on sunshine and be giggly and happy and thankful, instead of bitter and angry at the gods for keeping us in such a separatism reality. So we are going to become united, and this unification will bring us so much relief and joy that we will fly. And that's what we're seeing in your piece, is someone flying, the male and the female flying. So Mary Magdalene is here. You have MM. This could also be Mother Mary. And you have the clown on the cross. And this represents that in this physical life, you're just an actor. You're just an avatar. You're just somebody who does the will of God. So you're going to use controlled folly. There's no reason to get angry or get into politics or polarize our emotions, our beliefs at all. We are just simply here doing the will of God. And what other people believe and whether they like you or not or anything like that, the clown represents that I'm not me. You are not this avatar. So it's easy to maintain balance when we don't identify with this body. We just know that we're here to do great things, and then we just let all the emotional stuff go. Your grandfather came through in your piece, and I thought that was so fantastic. But it seems to be speaking of the rainbow and the 7 rayed masters as a theater stage to be really strengthening you and giving you some sort of power when you get on that stage of your true self. Sirius B, the dog star, is paralleled with a wolf, a dog, or a canine. And when I think of Sirius B, the dog star, I think of Sirius Black the dog from Harry Potter, who was in Azkaban for 12 years. It seems as if Sirius B, the dog star, releases people from an imprisoned reality. So the reason Sirius Black the dog, Sirius B, the dog star, was in Azkaban, which parallels with Prison Planet, for 12 years, and his prison number was 93093, which equals 12, represents a prison. So Sirius Black the dog was a bearded man like Jesus and falsely accused like Jesus, sent to Pisces, the 12th month, the 12th house. And so being released from 12 to go to 13 is connected to Sirius B, the dog star, or the wolf star, or they are also called the moon dog. Isn't that interesting? In Hindu writings, Sirius B, the dog star, is referred to the Shukra, the rain god, or the rain star. So think of rainbow, which is above your head. But there's Sirius A, Sirius B, and Sirius C. Sirius C is an invisible planet, and it's made up of only females. And Emma Yah is the name that the Dogon tribe described the goddess of Sirius C, the invisible realm. So your piece speaks of almost like 3 stars, 3 realities, a lower reality, a middle reality, and a top reality, which almost represents Sirius A, Sirius B, and Sirius C. And it represents male, female, androgynous, moon, earth, and the sun. They call it the dog days, and it reminds me of the song, the dog days are over. And for the dog days to be over means that we've entered into the cat. And the cat is is not like the dog. And the curse of Cain and the canine is absolutely reflecting a prison for 7 generations on 7 continents, 7 seas, 7 days in a week. So the cat is being presented here, and this is our release and our redemption. Get into numerology, get into symbology, get into the 7 raid masters. Really connect with the Sophia Code and Mary Magdalene especially. Get into your creativity. Let your creativity bring you back to the stage of your inner child. And let joy be your motivation, because joy will help to feed your higher self and strengthen so that you're everything that you want in this world. We have to learn to feed the emanation of the higher worlds through the energy of and the flame of joy. So I very much enjoyed your reading. I know everyone else did too. My name is Mary Moses, and if you would like a reading, go to forestfairy.com.